Hello, this is KMBKomhyr, and welcome to episode 6 of my LP. I actually had about half an episode recorded, and I went back and looked at some of the video just to check something, and for some reason it was very, very choppy. So I have to start over. That sucks, but oh well. What I've been working on is some more redstone stuff for the chicken farm project, so I've just got kind of a loose look of what I want the control panel to look like, and I've been working on some of the stuff for these lights up here. So what they are for is they're going to be they're indicator lights for the 20-minute timer for the chickens maturing. So you know, when one light's on, that's 4 minutes in, 2 is 8, 3 is 12, 4 is 16, and all 5 is the full 20 minutes, which will let us know that we are ready for harvesting, for the slaughter. So I can show you how this is all going to work back here. So first thing first is I'm working with redstone signals of varying strengths, so I had to do a little bit of it looks a little bit messy, but I'll show you how this all gets power. So the first one here for the 4 minutes gets the weakest signal strength, the first signal, so that comes up here and it actually splits off to this side and comes in here. This repeater that I just broke, it just pulls from this wire into this block, and that lights up the first lamp. And then we actually, whoops, a little bit of choppiness there. I think we're okay though. Yeah, I think we're alright. So then the signal travels down, and the way I'm going to have this all working is by necessity I have a 1 block gap between the signal strength, so I had to actually come over an extra block, which is why I had to go with this kind of messy setup. So this repeater pulls off of this wire and actually powers both blocks behind the first 2 lamps. But since this lamp will already be on, it doesn't matter to me if this repeater that powers the second lamp is powering both at the same time, so that's alright there. So both the first 2 will be on, and then the third one just comes down another 2 blocks and takes power with this repeater from the block back here, pushes it into this block, and that powers the third one. So that's pretty simple. Same thing here, just takes power from the wire there and through this wire into the block there. And then the last one is another 2 blocks down. See, actually here I kind of switched up the pattern for a little more compactness. So the signal is actually here is where the first one will go to, but I did a little trickery to get it there from here. And then the second one is here, is where it ends, and the third one ends here, and then the fourth one ends here, but it also powers this one. Excuse me. So yeah, the third one ends here, and then the fourth one begins here and ends here, so I can pull power off of here without messing anything up. And then the fifth one would actually end 1 block further along here, but we're just pulling off the start of the signal, so just pulls power, pushes it through that block into that wire which is behind that lamp, and again that will light both of these lamps, but that's okay because this one will already be on. So from the first block here, which we'll call this one, we want to go 15 blocks down to get the signals separated correctly. So if this is 1, then we have 2 here, and 3, and then 4, and 5, right there, and then that comes down to 6 is here, and then we go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 right here. So this, yeah, we pull the first signal off of the beginning of the wire here. So how we're going to do that is I need my redstone torches to explain this part. We're going to have a series of RS NOR latches here. So the first latch will will toggle this torch here, and so that's sending power up through this block to the wire behind and down the line, and then you can see here that powers just the first lamp, and then can continue on here, power the second one, and we have 2 lamps on there. And we'll just continue doing that. I'll show you how they all function. So 3 and 4, and finally all 5 are on. So after 20 minutes we'll have all 5 lamps on like that, and they'll just increment one by one, and they'll give us an indication of how far along in the process of growing all the chickens we are. And actually there's a little bit of a weird bug here. You can see here, I don't even know if it'll change anything, but yeah. See, the signal strength is seeming to stay the same, and I'm not really sure why that is when I start removing torches, and you can see that all the lamps stay lit. And if I get rid of the next 2, they should, I think they'll still be on. Yeah, all 5 are still on, which was a concern to me, but then when I get rid of the last one, then we actually, yeah, the line is off there. We're actually okay there, and all 5 lamps turn off when I get rid of all the torches, which is fine because I'm going to be toggling them all off at the same time anyways, so that's a little bit weird, but it's not going to cause us any problems there. And if you're wondering, I know up here at the top I actually have some unnecessary repeaters, but even though it really makes no difference, I like to have you know, consistent timings, so I had to put a repeater on at least one of them. So I put a repeater on all of them just for consistency's sake. So the next step will be to get these RS NOR latches hooked up here, so they'll be kind of sticking off to the side here, and then we'll have another 15 block line running to the 20-minute repeater, which I'm going to position in this area, I think. So yeah, everything I've been doing is kind of dictated by this whole 15 block signal strength thing. So I know there's probably some easier ways to do it in the Redstone update, but I'm anxious to get the project done, and I'm still enjoying it. So I'm gonna get working on some of those RS NOR latches, and I'll show you what those look like when I've made some progress. So I'll be back. Well, I've made quite a bit more progress. I had a little mishap there. I was moving some wiring around for the chicken killer. You remember I had I lost my train of thought. I had a dual edge detector here, kind of looping back around. This is the dispenser with the lava bucket in it, and yeah, I realized I didn't need the dual edge dispenser or the dual edge detector at all in the setup. All I had to do was leave the dispenser powered full time with this lever here, and then just send it when it gets the first redstone update, which is power on, it will shoot the lava out, and when the power is removed, it'll pull it back in. So the dual edge detector wasn't necessary, the piston's still there. So yeah, you hear click, lava's gone, and go off, clicks again, lava's back. So that still works, but when I was switching things up, I took the lava bucket out so I wouldn't have that problem, and I got that bug where you pull something out into your inventory and 45 seconds later it's back where you took it from. So the lava escaped, took out my water source, but luckily the villager's okay, so all I have to do is go take out that smooth stone, put a new water source block in, and we're good. But I've set up a lot of the RS NOR latches here, so you can see what we have here is there's a torch on there, on that face, feeds into this repeater, which goes into this this dust here, into this torch, and this torch also feeds into that dust, which turns that torch down there off. Now this is a pretty common RS NOR latch design. I just found that this particular one worked nice for my purposes. So that wire there also goes into that block back there. You can just see that, and on top of that are the on top of each of those blocks is the torch that powers this block and powers the line up top. So this is the line that goes up to the lights. So I left one unbuilt here so I could show you how I'm working that out. So it's pretty simple. I just have been placing the blocks like so, and so that's going to be on by default, and just shift click on top of there, and torch. Whoops, that's not a torch, that's a torch. Torch right there, and that works. And then I have a reset line here for all of them. I can just hit that button and get them all turned off. So the lamps should be off at the moment, and they are, so that's good. And then we can kind of demonstrate here how it will end up working. So that's the this is the toggle. Sorry, that's not the toggle line. The toggle line runs on top of these torches for turning the lights on right here, and we just need a block on each of those to block that signal off. And get my dust out here and just jump on top of here. So I'll show you how this will end up working. So this is going to be the 15th block for the weakest signal, so we need to bring that out 14 more blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I just run some wire here as a demonstration, whoops, get back up, we should be able to just hit a button on this block here. Get some buttons out here, and we have no lights on. If I hit that, we should just get the first light turning on. So yeah, we got one on, and that that flipped the first RS NOR latch. So you can see the dust is on there, and that torch is off, which allowed that torch and that torch back there to turn on. And I can reset it again, and the light should be back off. Yep. And we can do a little more demonstration. So if I turn that back on, we can put another block 2 down here with another button. Actually, I'll put the button over here, and we should get second RS NOR latch on. We should have 2 lights on. Perfect. And so we have here, here, and here as well. And demonstrate them all. So 3 lights. Good. 4. Working perfectly. And 5. Yeah, that'll do it. Well, that didn't do it. What happened here? Do we have this all hooked up properly? Oh, you know what? I put this too close. That's the problem, because it was here and then I put it here, so it didn't send power far enough. That should do it there. And I'm starting to get some of that choppiness again. I hope that's not coming through in the video. I think it'll be alright. So 5 lights on. And then we can just go over here and hit that reset toggle. Like that. And I'll back off. So that's how that's going to work. Now, I just have this line that I just ran temporarily here that I have to run to the 20-minute timer, which will be down there. So I'll just flip this line around, take it down where I need it, and building the timer is probably the next step here. So I'll be back. Oh, jeez. Now where did he come from? Are they climbing down the ladder? Oh, that's terrifying. I don't want to have to redo any of this. Come here. Let's see. What am I going to do with him here? Let's see. Take him right outside. I don't want to risk anything. Oh. Oh, good. Choppiness. Perfect time. Alright. Well, that works for him. Okay, I'm going to gather some materials and we'll get back to it. Okay, I've done some more work on the redstone stuff, and where I left off before, I had this line running around in this U shape to get the 15 blocks I needed. Well, now instead, I have it running to its permanent location. So for the weakest signal, if that right there, if that's the 15th block, then we need 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and then we have this this tower of half slabs with wire on it, and that goes all the way down to 1 at the bottom. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 right there. So what happens with this this tower of pressure plates on top of fence posts is the boat that gets knocked up a notch every time the other boat does a full loop through its cobweb fall will trigger these pressure plates in turn. So when the bottom one gets triggered, it will send a signal just far enough to flip this first RS NOR latch, which will send a signal just far enough to power this first redstone lamp. So that's the idea, and I might be able to throw an item through there, through a few of them there to see if we can get something happening here. Okay, I think that made it all the way down. So yeah, it toggled every lamp, or every notch, or every latch, and turned on all 5 of the lamps. And I'll have to actually move the reset line, which you can see these repeaters here just power the reset line. And I actually don't need all those repeaters. I can replace a couple of them with just redstone dust. Anyways, I'll probably have to flip it around so it resets it in the other direction, which doesn't make any difference at all. I just need to access it from this end, I believe. I might still be able to get it from this side, but whichever is more convenient. Anyways, that's the idea, and this has been pretty finicky work. It's tough stuff to do, these towers and stuff, and the next bit is going to be probably pretty challenging. I need to build the whole 20-minute timer, so I actually need 7 blocks this way. So let me just make sure I have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we'll be good there. And I know I'm good the other way, so it's a pretty big device, but it will fit in there. And yeah, it's getting a little bit tougher to do the wiring. I wasn't really super efficient with my space. I figured this big pit would be more than enough room, but then I kind of blew it with where I positioned some of the stuff. But we should still be able to work it all out, and there's still quite a bit of room down there that I won't use if I really need to fit some more stuff in, just do some longer wire runs. But we're getting a lot closer to finishing all the wiring for this farm, so I'm gonna get some more work done on this timer, this 20-minute timer, and I'll show you that when I have some progress. Alright, I've done a fair amount more work. This is very slow work, very slow, but anyways, I have, like I think I showed before, all these pressure plates on top of fences there. I've completed a good portion of this half of the timer. I got all the fence gates in place that will be holding the boat down, and the redstone line that controls the fence gates. So yeah, let's take a look there. So again, it's just let me jump over here. Just half slab wiring that goes up, and so how that all works is every time the boat that is falling through the cobwebs makes a loop, it hits this pressure plate at the bottom. And you heard all the fence gates go off. I can demonstrate it with the button here. So, okay, we can see them all there. Every time opens all the fence gates, but it's not a long enough open for the boat to move up more than one spot. So it'll be kind of here against the bottom of this gate by default. And the first time it moves up, the fence gate's open, and it will float up one spot to the next gate there and stop. And in the process of doing that, it will hit that pressure plate. Now that pressure plate is the first one that triggers the first light. So this boat here, it starts just kind of above this pressure plate, so kind of around this level, held down by some other fence gates. When it first gets turned on, it floats up to the top, spins around, and falls down another shaft. That shaft is full of enough cobwebs to cause the boat to take about 4 minutes to make its fall. When it hits the bottom, which would be right here, it turns around, floats over, hits the pressure plate, lets the other boat float up one notch, triggers that pressure plate there, and shows toggles the redstone lamp on that shows 4 minutes has passed. So every time this boat on this side makes a loop, hits the pressure plate, it will toggle another lamp that shows another 4 minutes has passed, and when it hits the top, the whole thing resets. And I think at first I'll have all the lights stay on until the chicken purge, until all the meat is done cooking, and then I'll have it turn off. Well, yeah, so there's still a lot more wiring to do. There's still a lot more work to do on this 20-minute timer. It's slow going. I hope this was still an interesting episode. It was a very technical episode, all about the redstone. But, you know, I find this stuff very fascinating. You know, I guess it's a little bit like Etho Minecraft done technical, but no, I find doing this stuff just fascinating, and making it all work. It's a lot of fun for me. So yeah, I hope it was still enjoyable. And a lot of this redstone work is very iterative, by which I mean you just kind of, well, this is my process. I just kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. So that's a good portion of the reason why I was slow getting this episode up. I was fooling around in creative mostly with this whole setup, trying to figure out a way to pass the signal on in a way that would trigger the lamps how I want them triggered, and it was a lot of work getting that to all work. And of course, as usual, one of the simpler solutions was the best one. You know, I wish I could have done it without all the RS NOR latches, but I just couldn't find a way to get a fence gate to hold a boat down while also continually triggering a pressure plate. Yeah, one of these wooden pressure plates. They just won't do it. Like when a boat is sitting right underneath that fence gate, it will be too high to trigger that one and too low to trigger that one, and if I put one where that fence is, it would be still too high to trigger that. It just sits right in between. Boats aren't even a full block high, so yeah, it just wasn't working out that way. So but yeah, this system seems to work out quite well, and once I get the timer done, it'll all be about hooking it all together and then finishing up some work in the top. I'm not gonna work on finishing all the aesthetic part of the top of the tower until the redstone update, because there's a part kind of on the underside that needs to be kind of white, and those new quartz blocks I think are going to work very, very well for that part of the tower. So that part I'm not going to get done right away, but I still need to rebuild the chicken holding pen, the chicken holding cell at the top. Get off of my roof. Jeez, it's always creepers up there. It's never zombies, never skeletons, occasionally an enderman, and like 1,000 creepers. Anyways, yeah, I gotta rebuild that whole part at the top because it's just killing way too many chickens, and it was temporary anyways, but we are getting there, and I'm probably gonna stick with this project at least until the redstone is done. So yeah, once again, I hope you found it interesting, and please leave any likes or comments, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.